Miller reports that Kirk Cousins is deciding between the Vikings and the Jets as his new home. Over the weekend, Adam Schefter reported there were 4 teams in the mix for Cousins, including the Cardinals and Broncos. Shannon, how surprised are you that your Broncos are reportedly not in the final 2?
I'm very surprised. I said yesterday I thought the Minnesota Vikings should be at the front of the list, Skip, because if you look at them, that defense is there. They've signed Joseph. They've got Griffin. They got Harrison Smith. They got Xavier. All these guys are tied up. You got a young offensive receiving core. Thielen, Diggs, Rudolph, Cook comes back off that injury. You got a nice offensive line. I mean, they're not the Cowboys or Philadelphia, but they're a nice offensive line.
Yeah.
So Minnesota should have been at the front of the list. But the Broncos, they have Emmanuel Sanders, they have Demaryius Thomas, offensive line. I think John would be willing to go out and, if there's an offensive lineman in free agency that they can nab, he would bring him in. I'm surprised that the Jets would be in front of the Broncos, considering the Broncos are 2 years removed from the Super Bowl, and the Jets hadn't been to the playoffs in since 2009, maybe 10, something like that. So I am surprised, Skip. And for the Jets, offensive weapons. Okay, your best running back, Matt Forte, is retiring. You got Anderson, who knows what's going to happen with that situation. He got to deal with something in Florida. What the hell is going on in Florida? Why is all the never mind. We'll talk about that later. Jenkins, your tight end, he's a free agent. You got Curse. Okay, he's solid, but not spectacular.
Yeah.
But he can make a few plays. So can the Jets offer him a ton of money? Maybe $90 million guaranteed, $100 million, maybe even guaranteed the whole contract?
Yeah.
Sure. But Skip, the Jets are not close to going to the playoffs. You got a team that 2 years removed from the Super Bowl, and you think the Jets have a better chance to get to the playoffs than the Broncos? You go to the Jets, you're going back into the very similar situation that you left in Washington. So, best of luck. But I'm shocked that the Broncos are not one of the final 2, because I really thought it should be Minnesota, Denver, and then whomever else comes after that. But I thought Minnesota and Denver would definitely be the top 2.
I am not at all surprised, knowing Kirk Cousins' history and makeup the way I think I know it. I think he wanted no part of the Denver quarterback legacy that spans from John Elway through Peyton Manning. That's hard. I believe Kirk Cousins sat back and said, I want no part of being the next Peyton Manning in Denver, because wouldn't it be just a quick, easy comparison?
That's the expectations.
And didn't people sit back and say, look what Peyton Manning did in Denver, coming off career-threatening neck procedures, right? I think he had 4 procedures on his neck. And obviously, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts decided he cannot play anymore. You are out, Peyton. Love you. I'm going to pat you on the head. I'm going to say nice things about you. And you are gone. And Peyton's doctor's saying, we think he's going to regenerate his triceps nerves, and he's going to be okay. And at one point, Peyton, they said, couldn't even throw it across the room to David Cutcliffe when he went down and worked out with him at Duke. And the rest is NFL history, because Peyton Manning goes in there and goes 13-3, 13-3, 12-4, then started only 9 games, went 7-2, and capped it off with a Super Bowl. That's pretty great. And the first 2 years in Denver, the guy whose career was done, according to Jim Irsay, he leads the NFL with a QBR of 80, and then his second year he leads the QBR race in the NFL with 81. He wins the MVP, and he sets the touchdown record that still stands of 55 touchdown passes to only 10 interceptions. That's that second year in Denver. I thought he should have been the MVP both years, but Adrian Peterson coming back won it the first year.
92 touchdowns in first two seasons in Denver.
So this is a legacy, and I'm only talking about the Denver portion of Peyton's legacy, because obviously if you go back through the Indy years, he is unquestionably the greatest regular season quarterback in NFL history. And I don't think it's even close.
No.
Now, did he cash in a whole lot in the postseason? He did not. But he cashed in on schedule as he walked into the sunset with that Super Bowl. And he, as you know, he made some plays down the stretch.
Well, that's what he had to do. And he was what Peyton, and he was not the Peyton that we all knew and loved. But he was able to get the Broncos out of a bad play into a good play into a great play. And that's and they're early. when he needed to make throws, you go back to the Pittsburgh game, Skip, on that third down, the Benny Fowler, that was the turning point of the ball game.
It was huge.
I'm not so sure if they don't get that first down and give Pittsburgh the ball back.
Yep.
Pittsburgh doesn't go down there and win. And then he played great.
And that was when he didn't even play in the first half.
Right.
He was the relief pitcher in the second half.
No, he was Pittsburgh in the championship playoffs.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he came in San Diego. But and then and we know what he did in the first half against the Patriots. And then he made that key third down scramble. So that's a lot, and everybody was going to be. That's what Kirk Cousins was going to be compared to. This is what Peyton did in 4 years with the Broncos: 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 win.
Okay.
So that's what the goal is.
Okay, so he doesn't have that kind of backbone. He wasn't part of that. He's too smart for that.
What the hell does he think the expectation is going to be in Minnesota? They went to the NFC Championship game with Case Keenum.
Thank you. Which is why I believe he is bound for the New York Jets. Most money of the teams left on the table. The Browns might have a little more money, but still, the Jets have a whole lot of money, so they could pay him $30 million.
Yes.
And I think he would love to be in that media market and stay in the Northeast, but with low expectations, because nobody really thinks the Jets are going to do all that much.
Right.
And I don't think they would think the Jets were even a playoff team with Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to think that John Elway is suddenly screwed. I think he's back up against the wall. That's what he is.
You don't think you go out and try to sign
Case Keenum? Okay, so we're playing musical chairs here. So all of a sudden it looks like, could this go here? And it looks like Case Keenum could wind up in Denver. Case Keenum has a backbone. Case Keenum is afraid of nothing. And I believe that Case Keenum could play at least as well for the Broncos just next year as Kirk Cousins could have played.
Well, I don't believe he can play worse than what they had over the last 2 years.
He will improve that.
Yes. And so that's what they need, because if you look at they gave up 24 points a game, but a lot of that was pick sixes and scooping scores. And the offense was putting them in a bad situation. I think they were top 5, top 6 in total yards given up. And so they have some nice pieces. But the Jets, Skip, I can see if they
Kirk
had
Cousins
pieces.
wants no huge expectation put on his shoulder pads.
Skip, when you're a free agent, it's automatic, whether you want it or not.
Okay.
Expectations come along. And if you're a quarterback.
I'm going to remind everybody, as the starter for the Washington Redskins, he was 26, 30, and 1. That's 4 games under 500. Okay. Case Keenum, in his career as a starter in the NFL, is 20 and 18, 2 games over 500. And last year, he was 11 and 3 for as you say, a good football team with a lot of talent around him, but he threw 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's pretty great.
It's pretty good.
And I think he actually led the NFL in QBR, did Case Keenum, because your guy, walk it to him, is that what you call him?
Walk it to Wentz.
Your guy, Carson Wentz, wound up starting 13 games, but he won the QBR with only 13 starts.
That's plenty enough. Plenty enough.
Case Keenum had 14, but whatever.
Okay.
So if you do 14 or more starts, Case Keenum wins.
No, stop doing this. Why you saying it?
I'm just saying he deserved to win it because he played really high-level football all year.
Because this is what you do. To make your case about Dak Prescott, you say with 6 starts, you say, oh, Dak Prescott won the QBR battle. He did not.
When?
Never.
Well, he
never
started every game.
He didn't win it. He didn't win it year before last, and he didn't win it last year.
Okay, he should have won it.
I don't know about should.
Well, he should have.
I don't know.
Okay, but he went ahead and started at Philadelphia in the last regular season game that was completely meaningless, and he kind of mailed it in because the whole team mailed it in, and it cost him the QBR championship.
My guy, Wentz, walk it to him, Pennsylvania, Wentz on a lifetime. Got a QBR title. And a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the guy who got replaced by the backup who played better than Carson Wentz.
Whoa, time out, Skip Bayless.
Well, he did.
Stop saying he got replaced. He was injured.
Okay, so the backup quarterback played, I think, way better than
Carson Wentz. Walk it to him.
So it's either Nick Foles is either better than Carson Wentz or the system will make anybody
Don't do that,
player.
Skip. Don't do that.
Maybe you could play for
Don't do that. Why you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you try to deliberately go out there and try to undermine Carson Wentz?
Because it completely diminished when Nick Foles played the 2 best quarterback games back-to-back we've ever seen in playoff history. Then it's either Nick Foles is better than Carson Wentz or the system will make anybody good. It's one or the other. You can't have it either. You got to pick a side there.
You know
Seriously.
what?
No, I'm serious.
I'm picking a side. I'm picking the side of Carson Wentz is a phenomenal talent.
Your MVP argument went right down the drain with Nick Foles.
Well, we saw what Matt Castle did in that very system, didn't we? We saw what Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett did in that system. Yeah. We saw what he did, right? You saw that? Yeah, Joe, you saw it.
Matt Castle's pretty good.
No, he's not.
He went to
I don't care.
He went to Kansas City and made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Case Keenum made a Pro Bowl. There are a lot of guys make a Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay.
A lot of guys make it once.
So are you trying to tell me that Matt Castle is as good as Tom Brady?
Are you
saying it's a product of,
Are you
saying Tom Brady's a product of the New England system that he invented?
Stop.
Well, that's
Are you trying to tell me that Nick Foles is as good as Carson Wentz?
I am.
Well, I am.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it with my own eyes.
You ain't see nothing.
What just happened?
Did you see those first 13
what
games?
What just happened?
Did you
sleep through the Super
Bowl? Did you see those first 3 games?
I saw Nick Foles put up 41 on Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Did you see what he did to your Cowboys?
How do you explain that?
Cowboys, good team. I told you they loaded top to bottom.
Oh, they're loaded top to bottom.
Top to bottom. Okay. Top to bottom.
So back to your Broncos because you're avoiding the issue here.
I said I was surprised.
Okay. So the best thing that could happen would be they would draft Baker Mayfield.
No, that would not.
It would be he would be better than these options. But the problem is they're sitting at 5, and I have no idea what's going to happen at 1 through 4 because any of those teams could trade out of the top 4 because somebody wanted to come up and get Baker Mayfield, or maybe it's
I doubt somebody's going to trade up.
Huh?
I doubt somebody trade up to come get him inside the top 5.
So where do you think Baker Mayfield goes then?
I'll say somewhere between 9 and 15.
Baker Mayfield?
Is there another one?
Can we put a 4th case of due on that? I'll take it right now that Baker Mayfield goes before 9. Want to bet?
Okay.
Okay, that's another one. I'm swimming over here in dew. Thank you. Thank you. I got a lifetime supply.
Okay.
Okay,
no,
that's a done deal.
Yeah, we got
right?
So them come in and just be guzzling.
So John Elway, who has swung and missed at quarterback after quarterback in the draft, I think is probably a little gun shy of actually drafting a quarterback.
He said he wasn't. He said he's going to swing again.
Okay, and he said, I'll miss again. He publicly admitted to his fandom, I'm going to swing and I'm going to miss again.
It happens.
Okay, it happens a whole lot.
Please don't miss on that position again.
Okay, thank you very much. So his option would be to try to sign Case Keenum shorter term. But remember, Case Keenum's going to be hot commodity.
Yeah.
So Arizona's going to want him. I don't know what's going to happen with the Jets, and who knows what's going to happen.
Right.
But
because whoever doesn't get Kirk Cousins is going to be in the market for a quarterback.
Okay.
And these teams are going to be, Minnesota's not in position. They're not moving up to get one of these quarterbacks. So if Minnesota gets Kirk Cousins, now the Jets might be in play for Case Keenum.
Okay.
He's going to have options.
He's going to have a whole lot of options,
about free agency.
Which means that Denver is going to be strapped because they're going to have to bid for Case Keenum now. They're going to have to make a bid.
We ain't bidding on him. We don't bid.
And it would benefit John Elway to get Case Keenum for 2 years, especially if he's thinking about maybe drafting a quarterback as a project. And yet Case Keenum's going to command at least 3 years.
Yeah.
So do you want to be stuck with him for 3 years? Is that how you would view it?
Oh, I mean, you said you like Case Keenum.
I like him a lot.
No, we don't want to be stuck with anybody.
I like Baker Mayfield more than I like
want to
Case
be
Keenum.
stuck with First Cousins.
Yeah.
And he needs to reconsider.
He just blew you completely
off. He did. After all that hype, and I've been his biggest fan. I've been First Cousins. I've been in his corner when everybody was against First Cousins. I was with him. And he do me like this. Kirk.
So, Kirk Cousins went 1 for 6 against his arch rival Dallas Cowboys, and this shows
that was their rival.
Okay, that was Washington's rival.
Yeah.
But that shows you what he's made of. So he took one look at Denver and said, "Do I want that? And do I want to have to deal with Kansas City and San Diego and he didn't want any part of that."
Well, look here. I don't know about Minnesota, but they got 3 of them things up in the bowling center, the Lombardis.
Yep.
And that's what you play for. They haven't had back-to-back losing seasons since 71-72. So if Cousins was thinking about going there, the expectation is playoff Super Bowls. Now, I don't know what your expectation is going to be if you go to Cleveland or the Jets or Minnesota, but I'm telling you, I played there for 12 years.
You did.
When you walk into Dove Valley,
I got it.
The expectations are Super Bowl, and that's never, ever going to go away.
You spoke exactly why he's out.
Right.
That's it.
And I think what what the expectations of Cleveland are.
Yeah.
We don't have to guess about that. That's pretty obvious.
There you go.
Don't you want to win a Lombardi? Go to the Jets. You're not winning no Lombardi.
So is he back to third Cousins now?
He might be.
Yep.
First chance.
Well, it's not done yet. You can still campaign for a little bit.
Nah, he ain't coming.
Next up, Dolphins owner Stephen Ross told the New York Daily News that all of his players